Today it's Saturday the 11th. We have a key run, a bike, and a swim, a 60-minute ride, a 35-minute run, and a 40-minute swim. It's close to 4 a.m. Now the run we're gonna do this morning, it's kind of cold. Right now it is 34 degrees. Feels like 25 with a 17-mile-an-hour wind out of the northwest. So that should be fun. Before we go to the track, I'm gonna do my stretching first. So stick with me. Tip number 1, pattern disruption. You're going to realize that you do your bad habits at a certain time every single day. Say you're a smoker. You want to grab a cigarette after you eat every single time. So what do? You disrupt the pattern. You reach for the cigarette, but you don't grab the cigarette. Every time that I would try to quit nicotine pouches, the first step was always just disrupting the pattern once. You start the process and you pair it with the other 4 tips, smooth sailing. A lot of the times, the answer's right in front of us. We just don't see it. Oh, God. All right, so that pretty much finishes up the stretching. I'm gonna go get changed and I will meet you at the school. Alright, so we just made it to the track and it's a lot colder than I thought, so we're gonna go ahead and get running. That was worse than anticipated. So, almost done with this mile cool down, and once I get done with that, tip number 2. So the warm down's done, or cool down, whatever you want to say. But since it's so windy out here, I'll give the second tip in the car. Alright, so tip number 2 is that bad habits normally align with another bad habit. And I know you have more than one. I know I did, at least. That being said, say you want to get up earlier, but you have a bad habit of going to bed late. And let's say you want to stop eating bad snacks like cookies, but you only eat those after a certain point in time. So take care of 2 bad habits at once. So go to bed earlier and you will stop eating the bad snacks. My example is I would always use a copious amount of nicotine pouches when I played video games. So when I started cutting down on my hours that I would play video games, I started tapering off of the nicotine pouches, and once it got to a certain point, I could disrupt the patterns throughout my other daily activities. So driving or after eating, other stuff like that. So in conclusion, tip number 2, look for bad habits that intersect and take care of them at the same time. Alright, I'm gonna go home now, get some breakfast, and I will see you at the swim. All right, I'm gonna give you tip number 3 before we go to the pool, because I have no idea where we're gonna put the camera. Although you will get to see some sweet, sexy Speedo shots at the pool, because today is the first day that I'm wearing a Speedo. Tip number 3 is to be self-aware. If you're self-aware, then you can realize what's actually going on. You can recognize the habit, because a habit is normally something that happens subliminal to the conscious. For example, let's go back to breaking the patterns. To disrupt the pattern, we have to recognize that the habit is occurring at certain times throughout our day. From an evolutionary standpoint, behavioral habits form out of, I would probably say, out of safety. Why would they form out of safety? Well, if you're doing one thing and you survive, or you go at this certain time to get food and you get a reward back because you get the food. It's rewarding to have the nicotine. You seek the nicotine. So you seek the nicotine at a certain time, you're going to continue to seek that nicotine at a certain time. From an evolutionary standpoint, habits make sense, but not all habits are good. You engage yourself in all your daily tasks. Analyze your tasks. Ask yourself why. The most important question you can do is ask yourself why. Why am I doing this? Why did I say that? Why did I react that way? And asking yourself why is one of the biggest things you can do to become more self-aware. In conclusion, step number 3 is to become more self-aware. That way you're able to recognize the subconscious behavioral patterns or bad habits. That way you are able to disrupt the patterns and recognize what time of day they're occurring and what events they're occurring around. And after that, you should be able to go to step 4. I will see you guys at the pool. So we just got done with the swim. We swam about 1,700 meters. Right now it is 6:05 p.m. and the gym closes at 8 o'clock, and I have to get back there to cycle because I do not have an indoor trainer, and I have no lights on my bike. Plus it's also 37 degrees outside, so I really don't want to do that right now. First, we're gonna get some monosaccharides in me. First, we have peanut butter and jam sandwich, and then we got two, what the fuck are these? 2 kiwis. Fun fact, my brother actually eats these with the skin on it. You guys can comment down below if you guys eat it with the skin, or if you're civilized and use a spoon like I do. And we also have some 0-calorie Gatorade for electrolytes because I I'm going to need them and some protein. So once I devour all this, I'm going to change into my cycling bibs, run back to the gym, and then I'll give you tip number 4. Step number 4. Pick somebody to hold you accountable to quitting your habit or habits. Ideally, this person will be somebody close to you, somebody who's not going to talk shit behind your back, somebody that's all in it for you. Having somebody that's going to hold you accountable is going to make you 10 times more likely to stick to quitting the habit than rather if you didn't have somebody there for you. The person there for me through everything for me was my wife. And now she can see that I'm 10 times happier than I was before when I was doing all my other stuff. So I got back from riding the bike around 8:15, and my wife wanted to go look at Christmas lights. So it is now 10:30, and today we burned a total of 1,467 calories. It's one of my bigger days, and today we hit a PR on the bike and the swim. I'm pretty stoked about that. So without further ado, tip number 5, relax. It is totally normal to be doing very well with quitting your bad habit. But there might be one day, one trigger that you rebound, you relapse. It's perfectly normal for it to take more than one try to stop a bad habit. We are humans, we fuck up. Just realize why you're doing what you're doing and remember your goal. And continue on your path. Any amount of time spent not doing the bad habit is better than continuing in the wrong direction. So, in conclusion, we have tip number 1, which is pattern disruption. Tip number 2, we have intersecting bad habits. Tip number 3, be self-aware. Tip number 4, find somebody to hold you accountable. Find somebody that you actually value their opinion and somebody who wholeheartedly believes in you and wants the best for you. And tip number 5, relax, restart, and continue on your path. Promises. There's 2 promises that I can make you. You follow these 5 tips, you will 100% be taking steps in the right direction towards stopping your bad habit. Promise number 2 is that I promise to be more confident in front of a camera in future videos to come. So, with that being said, I did want to start making videos to help people that were struggling the same way I was, and it would be awesome to know if anybody utilizes these tips, or if you think they might be helpful for you in your future or anything like that. Wouldn't mind if you commented that down below, and it'd be cool if you gave the video a thumbs up and maybe subscribed for future videos if you like this one. But like I said, this is my first video and I promise I will get better. So yeah, be safe and be confident. See you later.